Okay. We are on the air.
Ooh, live, baby.
Ooh, funky like a monkey.
Yeah.
And in that case,
Jen, water.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I was talking to Jen. She had to shut the water off for us. You would have heard it.
And then we'd all have to take a leak, and you know how it goes.
Yeah. Everyone who listens would be like, I have to take a pee all of a sudden. Why do I have to pee so bad?
This show, it's good for what ails you in those peeing problems. All right.
And urinate.
Oh, it just cleans out all the orifices.
But just sledge.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Geekodrome. Cheese. Glorious cheese. Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am Jon, and he's Stugots.
So, coming to you from the new house. Yeah. Ooh, it's an echo.
Oh, fancy.
An echo chamber. I'm a spacious living room.
Damn, I forgot to set up the gag I wanted to do on you. All right. All
right, you want to start it over? We can start it over. I can do that.
No. I'll skip it because it would have taken a couple minutes to set up because I was going to play the Sarah McLachlan's I Will Remember You and do a memorial to the Hideout.
To the Hideout. Yeah, Hideout no more.
I know, but you have to have the Sarah McLachlan song. You know, and that just makes it poignant and sweepy. And I know, and I screwed it up because I forgot. And I knew, I thought of it last week, and then.
Well, I turned the keys in tomorrow, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you're not broadcasting from there anymore. Anyone who watched the Eat Up show tonight got to see the brand new kitchen.
Yeah, new kitchen.
It's fancy.
Got to come up with the. Thank you. I love it. I do have to come up with the right filming angle and lighting.
Oh, yeah, first time. We'll come back to that at the end of the show when we talk about what you made tonight. It looked delicious because I actually did watch.
Oh,
but we are now almost 24 hours removed from the Royal Rumble.
Ooh.
Yes, the Rumble in the Philadelphia jungle, as it were. The start of WrestleMania season. The road to WrestleMania, as it were. So
I'm pointing.
Yeah,
to the sign.
You have to point at the sign, no matter who you are.
Pointing.
So, what'd you think of the big show last night?
I thought it was excellent. I could not have wanted better results. And including going one step further, NXT on Saturday night. Gargano storyline is awesome. He is such a great character. We can get into that if you want another time, because I don't know if you watched NXT.
So I have signed up.
Take over.
I signed up for the first time yesterday just to watch the pay-per-view, the WWE Network.
Okay.
So
you can go back and watch Saturday night's show now.
I have, and I heard it's fantastic. I have never watched NXT or 205 Live.
I'm a bigger NXT fan than I am of the main roster.
I hear that from a lot of my wrestling fan friends. So I will.
We are one step closer to Masks and Tights.
Masks and Tights. Yes.
Coming soon to the Geekodrome Network.
So I didn't watch the pre-show last night. I didn't watch NXT either. Right. Where they did the tag match. There was
on the pre-show, you didn't see Samoa Joe on the panel conduct himself so eloquently as if he was a broadcast journalist for many years.
I know. I completely missed that. I was cooking dinner.
Smooth as silk. That's the only way to describe Samoa Joe. His new name's going to be Smooth as Silk Joe.
Good to know. So there was a 6-man tag, a tag match, and a U.S. championship.
U.S. title match.
Yeah. So Although I'm looking at some Rumble results that didn't give it the highest marks for those matches. So maybe I didn't miss anything. Then again, it's a lot of people I don't watch normally because it was
Bobby Roode, baby. Glorious.
I know, but I don't watch SmackDown, so I don't really know.
Oh, I am a big Bobby Roode fan.
Yeah.
I've been a Bobby Roode fan since his TNA days, when it was part of Team Canada, and then Beer Money. He is in the it factor. There's just something about him. He has that it factor for sure, and it made perfect sense to anyone who was a fan of his when he started using that as his call line.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've never seen him wrestle, so I don't really have an opinion on him, unfortunately. I mean, obviously, I know Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, who lost to the Revival.
Yeah.
And Kalisto, Gran Metalik, and Lince Dorado were against TJP, Jack Gallagher, and Drew Gulak.
I guess I don't know if that match was announced before. I guess the Enzo Amore dismissal,
that
from the company left a hole on the pre-show, so they filled it with a 6-man 205 live match.
Yeah, I'm looking at the CBS Sports report. They gave it a C. They gave the Revival win a C-, and the U.S. Championship a D.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the U.S. title match had Mojo Rawley in it, so it's gonna suck. He's the best.
Again, never seen him wrestle either. But we opened the main show with the WWE Championship. AJ Styles against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And that match was...
This was something else.
Oh, that was so good. It's great watching those, the 2-on-1s, because it's like the babyface has to come out on top to get the audience, behind him.
Yes.
So it's not like we were surprised how it turned out, but it was just so good watching them, the in-ring chemistry. And it was just great.
Definitely.
Even down to the schmaz ending where, the missed tag, and meanwhile the guy still comes in and loses the match. Then they complain to the ref, and it doesn't matter. AJ retains.
Yep.
And even going out to Shane after the match, complaining, and he just goes, "Yep," walks away.
Like, I don't want to hear it. We all have bosses like that. Whether it's currently or somewhere in our life, you have a boss who, no matter what's going on, they just don't want to hear it.
Oh, but I mean, part of the storyline was that they were complaining to him a lot, and that's why the match got set up.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you lost? Yeah, it sucks to be you. Again, I this one I was vaguely aware of because I caught a little bit of SmackDown, and I've seen some of the setup for this, and I know Sami and AJ and Kevin. So, well, not personally, but.
I was gonna say, could you get me an autograph?
I'd get you a beer with them if I could, but
I would love that.
Unfortunately, I don't know them personally, and I wasn't in Philadelphia, so so it came down to. But it was a great match. Those guys really just pushed everything and into the ring, and it was very entertaining. And and then we had the Usos against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in a 2-fall match.
The Usos will go down in history as the greatest tag team ever when their careers are done.
Really?
Bigger than the Road Warriors, bigger than the Dudleys. And I know the Dudleys just got announced as, going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Much
Testify!
Deserved. That is much deserved. I think when that time comes and the Usos hang it up, it'll be like the Usos, the Road Warriors, the Dudleys.
They're definitely in the top 5.
Yeah.
Top
5.
They're definitely in the top 5.
The Midnight Express to lean on.
I don't know.
That's my top 5.
I think the Rockers are definitely up there.
Oh no.
But I mean,
I was so not a fan.
Really?
Yeah, but I also wasn't a fan of the Rock and Roll Express. I I've always, I guess because I always like the bad guys.
Okay.
You know, most of my favorite, like, but I think it's warranted though. Like the Midnight Express had awesome double team moves. There was very few other teams that did what they did. The Road Warriors, they weren't even wrecking balls. They were steamrollers.
Oh yeah.
They just destroyed anyone.
What
but
a rush.
The Dudleys were the second coming of the Road Warriors. They cut promos. They didn't just cut promos. They started riots.
Yes, they did.
You know, it's like you're starting riots with fans that have come already to boo you, and then you get them so much more riled up that their only thing left is for them to start trying to get to you in the ring to do you bodily harm. There's nothing like it. It's to me that's mesmerizing. I love that. I'm such a big fan of that stuff.
Yeah, see, I remember watching ECW back in the day and going to a couple of live shows, and the stuff that Bubba Ray would say to the audience, I will not say on this show.
No, it was horrible.
No, it went beyond rated R. Like,
yeah.
We'll drop an F-bomb, we'll drop an S-bomb, but oh my God, the way the man strung them together, it was art. It was like Michelangelo's David in words.
Yeah.
They are.
But then they had Joel Gertner who would introduce them with a promo. It was awesome. It was very much like the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette. It was like the two guys were heat-seeking missiles. They didn't need any more heat, but then you added to antagonize even more when you had guys who could talk to begin with.
Well, I think we need to start a petition to get Joel Gertner to be the one to lead the induction ceremony.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. It'll never happen. It'll not in a million years. It'll be Paul Heyman who inducts them. But
yeah, well, Gertner never jumped. Gertner was never out of ECW. He just
no.
It's one of those things where it was just an ECW thing. He never went to the big leagues, so they're never going to.
And then when I met him, he couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys are like that. Like they're so nice in person, but then it's just like they're just bastards on stage. I mean, the same could be said for Bubba Ray and Devon back in the day.
But I'll just tell you my little Joe Gertner story. We talked on Twitter back and forth a few years ago, and he said something about going to the 8th Avenue Feast in Brooklyn. And I was like, oh, they're visiting. I said, I'm going to the 18th Avenue Feast. He wrote back, let me know where you're at. We'll, and we'll say hi. And sure enough, like 10, 15 minutes later, he messaged me and said, hey, I'm here. Where are you?
Oh, that's awesome.
Because he was like, I was like, oh, I'm at 74th. He's like, I'm at 72nd. Walking down, you're walking up. Well, just look for me. And sure enough, we stopped. We talked. He introduced me to at the time, his girlfriend. I think he's gotten married like recently to her. And talked to her maybe 20 minutes just outside on the street corner.
Was he wearing a jacket and no shirt?
No, he was fully dressed. No neck brace either.
It's good to know that it finally healed. It's these important things that we never got closure on. So back to the Usos.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. We're the most ADD show on the podcasts out there. So we had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Yes. Shelton Benjamin, who's been in the game for 20 years, with Chad Gable, who's another, amateur turned pro wrestler. Against
Chad Gable will eventually become the next Kurt Angle.
I don't doubt it. Like I said, this last night was the first time I saw him. He was quite capable in the ring. He didn't cut any promos, so I don't know if he can hit the mic-like angle or if he needs to learn to. But, it was an entertaining match. I think the best 2 out of 3 falls was unnecessary. And I think that's kind of the consensus on that. Like most people who watched it were just like, what was the point? Especially since it was literally like they got the pin, they get separated, they got the second pin. So I don't know what they were thinking.
it was like, oh wait, we might be running short on time.
Yeah. So they should have just, if they were looking at the clock, they should have just went, oh, it's just one fall, and never announced 2 falls, and nobody would have given a shit, even if they'd pre-announced it on SmackDown. So, which brings us to the first of our 2 main events.
2?
So everybody on Twitter was just like amazed that the men's rumble was at 8 o'clock. I mean, I understand it.
I wasn't. I was like, this makes total sense.
Oh, I agree, especially since they don't want to do back-to-back rumbles. You got to break them up.
You got to split it up. In my mind, that the women's should have been the main event.
I agree. Like, it was the first time. It was history-making. The way they were built it up, I think they built up the women's match more than they built up the men's.
Rightfully.
So, and there was some really great spots in the men's. I have to say, Heath Slater was my favorite part of the men's rumble.
He's my least favorite.
Well, no, I'm not saying his performance, but the fact that he gets hit as soon as he comes out, and then the next 5 guys who come down to the ring are just smacking him around. So it's like the Miz steps on him, kicks him. Rhino hits him.
Good.
Come on, man. He has kids.
I don't care.
But so it was just a great, entertaining spot. The Ty Dillinger spot was hilarious.
That was good.
Where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn attack him backstage. Then Sami goes in for him. Finn Balor almost went the distance, which was kind of impressive.
He locked up on my end.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Right.
It was frozen.
Oh, okay. It was fine on here, and you just looked at me, and I'm like, oh, okay. I couldn't tell if you wanted to say something or what. I was saying Finn Balor almost went the distance.
I am a big Finn Balor fan.
I have become in the last month a big Finn Balor fan.
Good.
So
he has a great theme song to come out to. Crowd gets behind him. And then now when you put the fact that Anderson and Gallows are with him, and they are Balor Club, baby, worldwide, it's perfect. And then to know that you will once in a while still see the Demon.
I've never seen the Demon.
To me, just makes it better.
I have never seen the Demon.
Oh, no, you got to watch.
I know. Well, he hasn't done it in the last couple months. So.
Give you a couple things to watch.
All right. Well, now that I have some WWE Network to look at.
Yeah.
I can check it out. But yeah, so I've become a big fan of his. I think he's got a good look. I think
the right build. He has movie star good looks. He could cut a promo. He should be like what they would want to be a top guy for the company.
But he's not tall enough. I think that's what Vince's complaint is going to be. But I think
more than likely,
I think he's going to be the kind of guy who pushed himself into the main event, the way that Jericho did it. So other guys. So I think he's going to push himself into the main event. The fact that he didn't win last night, I don't think he really needs it. So
oh no,
I think just his
maybe next year. I would say,
yeah, when they're ready to put the belt on him, that's when he can take it.
Because you just want to start the fire and just keep going. You don't want to stall, stop.
Yeah, but the spark is there. The pilot light is lit.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
So it was a great match, and Shinsuke Nakamura takes out Roman Reigns in the end to win.
And that Philly crowd was so hot for that Roman Reigns elimination by a guy that they do like, and I like Roman Reigns. I'm not saying that I don't. It was just for that crowd that booed him out of the building years ago, for them to get that. I don't want to say reward because that's not it either. That treat of screw you, buddy, we hate you, and this is the guy we do want to win, and he just won by kicking you out.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people just don't like Roman, especially he's taken, was it the last 2 he won?
No, last year he didn't win. It was the year before when it was in Philly.
Okay. All right. For some reason, I thought he
2 years
won
ago.
last year too. I don't remember it as well because I wasn't watching at the time.
Won last year.
I
don't remember. Triple H? No,
No.
because he fought Rollins at WrestleMania.
Oh, because Triple H doesn't do those matches anymore. Oh, it was Orton.
No, he did.
Oh no, wait.
He has done the last few. Triple H.
Has he? Okay.
Orton?
I think last year was
Maybe
Orton.
It was Orton because then he went and fought Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
Okay. Yeah. Because again, they were talking about that. So yeah, it was Orton last year. So yeah. Okay. So I just misremembered.
Okay.
So yeah, great match. Royal Rumble has always been one of my favorites. Just traditionally, watch it back when I was watching regularly. I mean, you watched that 1992 Rumble, and you're a fan of the Rumble.
Yeah.
Such a match. Such a good match. One of the few WWF events I own on VHS somewhere.
Oh wow.
I need to find it. I don't know where it is anymore, but my other favorite spot was the Brand New Day with Kofi Kingston.
Yes.
They were he gets thrown over the top rope. He lands one foot down, and the other lands on one of the other New Day guys. And the third guy pulls out a plate of pancakes, and he puts it under his foot. So now he's sliding around on a plate of pancakes to get back into the ring.
Every year there's a big spot with Kofi. There was one year he landed on a chair. He got thrown out and landed on a chair and had to hop the chair back to the ring so his feet didn't touch the ground.
Sounds like the Sasha Banks move from this year.
Yes.
So yeah, it was very I love that they can slip all these entertaining things in there. Because you're going for an hour and there's so many things going on.
Hour. It's got to be in quotes.
Well, it really does go for an hour, but it's the time in between that goes in quotes.
Yeah, that you shave. Yeah,
it's on Titan time.
Yes,
but Balor was in for 57 minutes last night.
Yes, no, those times are accurate. Yeah. Yes,
the actual match time is the minute and a half or 2 minutes between wrestlers. They only put up a clock on those last 10 seconds.
Yeah, you have no idea what the rest are.
And some of them do feel a little fast.
Yeah. Someone's like, wait a second, it's been 20 seconds. The other guy didn't even get to the ring yet.
Yes. There were a couple of those, I think, where he just makes it to the ring. And then
So now at WrestleMania, we will get Nakamura versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Title.
Yes. He made his decision after the match and pointed. Well, he did a two-hand point. You got to do two-hand. All right.
I'm pointing.
Well, it's sort of like pulling a bow string, so it does come up. So yeah, so he picked AJ Styles. So there'll be another match.
A few years ago, the Wrestle Kingdom 19, 18, maybe it was 18. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura fought for the IWGP World Title, heavyweight title. If you ever want to say you are a wrestling fan, you have to watch this match. If someone that you know ever says to you, why are you a wrestling fan? You make them watch this match. Before there was a Kenny Omega, as AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura.
All right.
That match.
I'm going to dig it up.
Was of Steamboat and Savage, WrestleMania 3. It was an unbelievable thing to see.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't caught up on my Japanese wrestling yet. I used to watch quite a bit of Japanese and Mexican wrestling. When it was available on cable on those rare occasions.
I got into Japanese wrestling in the 90s when two of my favorite wrestlers went to Japan. Steve Dr. Death Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy, and they became a tag team.
Well, Dr. Death was huge in Japan. He spent years there.
Two badass guys who just did not give a fuck.
Yeah.
It was, I am here to break Japanese people's faces and make money.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of the Japanese wrestlers just don't have that style. So when the Americans go over and act like that, it's completely different and completely gets over.
Or what they do is they want to see if the American gaijins can do the strong style. And it's like, oh, wait, you want to see how bad you are? Let's see if we shoot on you a little bit, if you could take it. And Dr. Death and Terry Gordy just took it. They dished it out. And those Japanese wrestlers loved it. And the fans loved it.
Yeah. I mean, those guys were definitely legit, like, stiff shooters.
Yeah. Definitely stiff fucking workers, man.
So, yeah. Like, even in America, they were considered stiff.
Yeah.
All right. So, Shinsuke took the win. And then we had to, cut to Stephanie and Kurt, cutting a promo backstage as they prepared the ring for our Raw Tag Team Championship. The Bar.
I'm so glad the Bar won again.
I've become a huge fan of the Bar.
And I really think, I know Jason Jordan's hurt for a while, and that's why they take the belts off of him and Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
But that storyline was really starting to cook and to lead up to a match, I think, with Rollins and Jordan. But giving the belts back to the Bar was not a mistake at all. It was definitely a smart move. They're consistent. They do everything you want.
And they're entertaining. In and out of the ring.
Yeah.
Like, those guys come down, it's just, like, they're cutting promos. It's, entertaining. And then they hit the ring. The bell rings, and you're not disappointed.
Nope. I love the jackets. I love the kilts. Love the sunglasses.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the greatest of matches last night. But it served its purpose. It was entertaining. It got the belts moving.
Yeah.
But it also hurts when, one of the guys is injured. So, it did its purpose. And it brought us to the big man match, Brock versus Braun versus Cain.
I refer to this match as I'm going to the bathroom. Minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this whole angle.
I'm just not a fan of Brock or Braun. I'm just not. It's not my thing. I don't.
As long as you left Cain out of that, I'm okay by it.
No, I'm a big Cain fan. He's delivered time and time again. And having him in the match worked perfectly to make both Braun and Brock look good because neither of them had to take the loss.
Yeah. So it was, I wasn't a big fan of it. I mean, it didn't really entertain me. I kind of sat there and watched it. I didn't have
the best part, though, was when Braun kind of slipped and got that real stiff knee into Brock's face, and Brock just got up and started punching him as hard as he can.
Oh, yes.
And Braun staggered back a little bit for when he got his receipt, and then he took it. He didn't fall the hell down. He took a couple hard shots.
Yeah. Those were brutal. I forgot about that.
The Brock's face was legit. And those punches, there was no joke behind those punches.
It was just bam, bam.
Yeah.
Like, it was just
quick. Like, oh wait, you want to knee me in the face? Boom. Here's a cinder block in your face.
Seriously. I don't even want to imagine what that felt like. Yeah.
I don't know what that knee felt like or those punches.
No. But the best part is that match ended, and it brought us to our second main event of the night. The Women's Royal Rumble.
I was so glad for this match.
So was I. So they'd only announced maybe 2/3 of the people wrestling ahead of time?
Yes. They had 10 surprises, whether they were NXT call-ups, was coming in for the payday. It didn't matter because that match, because it's historic, had to tell a story of women's wrestling from the year 2000, the year 2020.
It's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
You had to bring in a couple of the NXT girls up to show, hey, they're the future. and then you had to bring in a couple from the past to be like, they are where we came from. And that's where we're going. And here's where we're at right now with the tremendous competitors of Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Charlotte is where we're at right now, and that's the bridge to get them all together.
Then we also had Vicky Guerrero. Excuse me!
Vicky did so much, though, character. Edge would not have been as hot as a heel if it wasn't for Vicky.
All right. I wasn't watching at the time, so I don't know what her contribution was, but I know it was kind of annoying last night. Intentionally annoying.
Yeah, it is. It is annoying. It was perfect. But I loved seeing Molly Holly. I'm a big Molly Holly fan.
So was I.
Oh
I'm a huge Lita fan.
So many times when I was younger.
Oh, well. Uh-oh. I was a huge Lita fan, so it was great to see her out there.
I can see that. I know your type.
Thank you. I will agree with some things I saw online that said it would have been great if they didn't eliminate Lita before Trish Stratus came in. Considering they have they're considered some of the best matches in the history of the WWE.
Trish and Mickie James in the ring.
Yes, you did. And it was
nice.
Just as good. But It was great to see them. It was, meanwhile you had who else? The Bellas, who were around when I wasn't watching. So I guess they're a big deal.
Oh, then you had Kelly.
Yeah,
Tori Wilson.
Kelly, who still can't wrestle.
No.
To me, the most amazing thing about Kelly's performance in the ring was that she didn't fall out of her bikini top.
Yes. Or out of the ring, because she's done that before.
Well, she was hugging the ropes multiple times.
Yes. Well, because there was two women battle royals where she was like thrown into the ropes like an Irish whip into the ropes, and she didn't hook the top properly, and she went right out. And it hurt. You know what I mean? Like WWE ropes are not ropes; they're still cable. So
yes,
it hurts. Right? It hurts.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's gotta hurt. Ouch. Yeah, she's not a wrestler. She's never been a wrestler. No. She never really put the effort in that like someone like Trish Stratus did, who wasn't a wrestler when she started, but turned into one. So yeah. But that's just hilarious. But yeah, at one point I could have sworn she was gonna fall out of her top, and we would have had we would have had the same experience as the Edge and Lita, what did they call it? Live sex show?
Sex celebration.
Sex celebration.
Live sex show.
I forget, there was something they called it, and I forget what it was titled. But, we can't forget how amazing Asuka was.
Man, oh man.
She was, she truly is the Empress of Tomorrow. Like, she lives up to the name.
She's in a league all of her own. I think the only way to give her a competitive match would be to just throw her in there with Brock Lesnar. And I think he wouldn't. I don't think he'd last.
No, because he doesn't move. Like, he just hits hard.
And I think she'd avoid those shots and just get him with some kicks in his stomach and a couple in his jaw, and that would be it.
So, this is what I would love to see. As the show went out yesterday, Asuka's asked, "Who do you want to face?" by Stephanie. She looks at both champions, Alexa and Charlotte, and then she's interrupted by Ronda Rousey.
Right.
And
who was my original pick to win?
Yeah, I think that was everybody's pick based on the rumor that she was going to show. Meanwhile, I do love the fact that her T-shirt is a rip on Hot Rods.
She was actually wearing Roddy Piper's leather jacket.
That's what I heard after, and that his son had given it to her to wear. Which it looked a little awkward for her to be wearing such a huge jacket, but
it's fitting though.
Yeah, once you know the story, like if somebody had said why she's wearing Roddy's jacket, it would have played up to it. But so what I want to hear is Asuka can challenge any champion she wants at WrestleMania.
Right.
And the only one who's taken is AJ Styles.
Yes.
I want to hear Asuka say, I want Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, yeah.
So, because even at the top of tonight's Raw, they started to do the promo again where you get to pick your opponent, and she still didn't because it got interrupted again by Sasha Banks, who they had a great match tonight too. But, so she has not picked her opponent. I want to see them spend a month leading up to her saying, I want Brock.
Yep. And you could just straight out just be cutting this, have Paul Heyman cutting a promo as to how there's no competition for Brock this year at WrestleMania. And all of a sudden, Asuka's music hits.
We're booking the perfect WrestleMania here.
Yeah. I had booked in my mind years ago, maybe 2 years ago, match for WrestleMania because with it being Brock's last match. Brock just is out there with Paul, and they're cutting promo how there's no one left. We've taken everyone out, and then all of a sudden Nakamura's music hits, and just this is all his promo. This is all he says. You took something away from the people, and I am now here to take it. Heyman just looks at him and just says, What are you going to take?" And he just stares at Brock with the microphone and says, "The streak," and walks out.
That would be awesome.
That would be it. And then the match with Brock and Shinsuke's would, to my mind, just be a house. It would just bring down the house with Nakamura winning, and then you would never see Brock Lesnar again.
I would be opposed to not seeing him again. I've never been a fan of wrestlers who are just big and have no move sets, except Andre.
Yeah.
Because Andre,
but it made sense because he was the giant.
Andre transcends all. Andre lives above all. We're gonna talk in April when that special comes out on HBO. But
oh my goodness,
he's Andre.
I will wear my Andre the Giant belt to that show.
I'll have to get a Shepherd Ferry. Andre the Giant has a posse to wear. Obey, Andre.
Okay.
So yeah, so yes, yeah. That's why I like last night's match. Like I know Cain can move. I know, like when he tag teamed with X-Pac, he was doing some insane shit back then. Admittedly, it's 20 years ago, and he may not have, all of those moves still. But yeah, like I know he can put on a great match. I've never been impressed by a Brock match.
No,
and Braun, I haven't seen much of. I mean, like last month or two, whatever.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, there's nothing about it. He knocks over buildings and trucks and shit. Like what I started watching when he was trapped in the dumpster.
Yes,
that was like a month or two ago.
When it went in the garbage truck.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't that doesn't do anything for me. I like guys who can talk, who are entertaining, and can do some solid work in the ring. Yep. Like I always like
and sell. I never liked the no sell.
I think it can vary. Like you can have somebody like Undertaker has done some no sells, but it's in character no selling.
Right.
Andre doing no sells. It makes sense. He's the giant. Big guys like.
But he's still no. But if you watch his matches like with Big John Studd and Bundy, he sold.
Oh yeah, no.
Even he didn't want to, but he still sold.
He would sell when it made sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's facing Hogan. He's going to sell eventually, but he's not doing it on like the first 5 hits, the first 10 hits.
You got to win him down, but that's what tells the story.
Exactly.
For the face to come from underneath.
So yeah, if it's done in story, I like it, and I have no problem with that. But then you just have those guys who are just like, no, I'm not going to sell for that guy. I don't like these people. I'm not going to sell for them. And it's
like, wait, we dropped a house on you, and you're still walking.
Exactly. It's like a Goldberg match.
Yeah.
Oh God, those were the worst back in the day. Him and his.
I was never a fan of him either.
He had 3 moves, and he would do them, and then the match would be over. Oh no, wait, it was only 2 moves.
Yeah,
It
was 2. It was the jackhammer and the spear.
Yeah,
and anything else was you taking your life in your own hands.
And he did try to improve the repertoire after like the streak hit 100 or so. But it was so.
Hey,
awful.
I'm going to do a mule kick. Let's see how this goes.
Not
hey, there goes Bret Hart's head.
It's okay. He wasn't using it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I would love to see that. I think they could have let Asuka cook a little more at the end of the show before bringing out Ronda, but you know.
I know a lot of people pissed off saying you killed Asuka's buzz.
I also think like
with Ronda coming out, they could have easily done that tonight on Raw.
Yeah. Well, I think pay-per-view is the place to do it because it's the
place to do it because at the very least your fan base is you're going to be able to gauge interest based on the social media scores for the night. You'll see trends and it'll be like you should see it spike and be like, okay, they're interested in this. Get the mainstream media talking about it all day today, and now you'll see a spike for ratings.
Plus they have her on tonight.
Yeah. So that's why it made sense to do it last night.
So yeah, no, it was the night to do it, especially since you have the next night to revisit it. I just feel like it could have been done better. Like she didn't say
it always could have been done better. But people bitching about, well, Ronda doesn't deserve this. Vince McMahon doesn't care about deserve. He cares about what will make this stock price go up. What is going to get more people to watch my product without me having to invest a lot more money and time. I can give this much money to Ronda Rousey, and I'm going to get this much return.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's all he cares about. He's a businessman.
She brings in a mainstream audience, and that's what they're trying to hit with that.
Yes.
So, that's why they do that. But and then the pay-per-view, she also gets a pay-per-view payday for appearing on the pay-per-view.
Yes.
So that's, another reason that she'll want to.
I saw a couple things that said that her contract wasn't for a lot of money, and she had a response of something along the lines of, I'm doing this because this is what I love to do, not because make a lot of money. But I'm sure she's going to get a really cool merchandise deal that will keep her well protected.
No, that's what you're seeing is the front end of the deal, which is all well and good, but you're not seeing the back end of the merchandise, the pay-per-view bonuses, and everything else. So, yeah, sure, compared to what she was making in UFC, it's probably peanuts. But I guarantee that, WWE does much better in merchandise. Because I see
without a doubt.
I see a lot more wrestling shirts than I do UFC shirts.
Yeah.
So,
and on top of that, like, I'm sure there are perks like, hey, you can go work out into the Performance Center in Orlando, and that's for free. We'll give you trainers. She could have worked her travel into the deal, not spending that money to get to wherever you have to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Most of these guys are paying for their own travel. She probably has her travel covered.
Yeah. If she gets that comped by them, it's like, okay, that's a big deal. Like Brock Lesnar, they send a private jet for him and limousine to take him to and from, and they take care of his hotel. So it's like, okay, wait, I'm not living really on the road like everyone else. And at the same time, the little I am on the road, you guys are picking up the bill. Awesome.
Yeah, she's not doing the house show circuit.
No.
So she has a much better deal than most of the boys.
Yes.
And girls. So it's you're not seeing the same deal there. But it was a good show.
Definitely.
How would you rate it?
A-.
All right. Yeah, to me, a lot of the in-between matches were weak, but the 2 Rumbles were fantastic. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'd probably give it an A- just based on those 2 matches.
And I love the people who won, so.
Exactly. Like
that helps.
It wasn't, John Cena. It wasn't Randy Orton. Mm-mm. It wasn't like guys who are already on top. It was one of those occasions where
we're moving people up.
Yeah, it was up-and-comers.
Which is what I want.
Yeah, which
Finn Balor looked great.
yeah.
Nakamura won. Asuka won. Ronda Rousey debuted. The women were in the main event like they should be. Samoa Joe on the panel, the show panel. It was great.
And
You had some good NXT kids make their Royal Rumble debut.
Yep.
Which I always like to see, especially Adam Cole, baby, being out there.
Nice. And Ember Moon and a couple others. Plus, we got to watch it and celebrate Rusev Day during the show.
Happy Rusev Day.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. Like he feels like he has no charisma, but the fans love the Rusev Day gimmick.
And if you watch him, and I haven't watched Total Divas, I always end up just like watching his clips that show up online. He's hilarious. On Twitter, he's hilarious. It's a very dry sense of humor where it's almost like humor, but he does.
Yeah, that's just it. Like he just comes across as he's there with his manager who's announces that it's Rusev Day, whose name I'm blanking on.
In English.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, again, I'm still learning everybody's names because I haven't been watching long enough. Exactly. I feel like we have to have a separate show just for me to relearn wrestling. Put on some masks, put on some tights, and see what we could do.
If only that was possible.
If only. La 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 la.
So you really want to do it with luchador masks?
If you're not wearing luchador masks, life isn't worth living.
Because let me tell you, I have a fucking mask in like 5 days.
I'll go on Amazon.
You just have to say when you want to start doing the show.
I'd have to go on Amazon to buy one.
Me too. And I know exactly the one I want.
I almost bought one like 5 years ago when I was in Cancun. And I kept looking at them going, I want a luchador mask. But I did not buy one. So
I could see you with the Dark Patriot mask.
I think I was looking at like a Spider-Man one or something. Because there was some wrestler who had that Spider-Man look at the time.
Yeah.
Although Rey Mysterios are always cool.
Yeah, he has a lot of different ones.
Yeah. And he looked fantastic last night, too.
Yes.
Like, I know he's been doing this 20 years, and he still moves like he's 20 years old.
Oh, my God. Like 6 knee surgeries.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he did 3 619s, 4 619s last night, and one of them was a double. So,
2 for 1.
Yeah. He wasn't necessarily doing a lot of high flying, but this match doesn't allow for that. But he got a couple in and a couple of 619s. So, he got it going on, yo. But
so what would you say for a grade on this show?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on the A-, just because I love the 2 main events.
Yeah.
Really, it's just a couple of the under matches did not do it for me. I mean, Spanky Frank, I have to agree with you. When the Hurricane showed up was pretty amazing.
That was pretty cool. Yep. And he went for the choke slam. John Cena sold it too when he put the choke on him. John Cena selling it. That was nice.
Yeah. I mean, I would have loved to have seen like maybe 1 or 2 more ECW guys.
Yeah.
Because it's Philly. So you have that ECW crowd there.
Yeah.
And like when he came out, they popped. They started chanting EC-Dub.
Yep.
EC-Dub, baby.
The way.
So, yeah, great show. Next match, we have the Elimination Chamber, both men's and women's. So we'll have the first time women's Elimination Chamber to look forward to.
Can't wait.
I know. And the preliminaries already started tonight. So,
cool.
Winner of that gets, I guess, a championship shot. I don't know.
Yes, it'll be whichever one that Asuka isn't going for. That'll be the other. Like, there won't be a SmackDown.
Okay.
There'll be a Raw chamber match.
So a SmackDown guy,
you have to get that.
So will a SmackDown guy win it and switch shows then?
I mean, a Raw guy can win it and switch shows to SmackDown.
Oh no, because
you already know that this
is Shinsuke.
So like you already have that. So there's not a SmackDown match. Yeah. Unless they change it. As of right now, they said that this is a Raw pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen the card yet, or heard that. But well, I guess we'll be watching. I always liked the Elimination Chamber too, especially that first one. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was good.
But they had no idea what to do.
People were getting stuck in the cages.
Yeah,
like they didn't open right. Oh, I forgot about how great that was. Oh, that was so bad. But you know what isn't so bad? Hot picks.
What? Hot picks.
So what do you got for us this week, Stugots?
I have the single A the double A Yankees affiliate, the Trenton Thunder. Every Friday night throughout the upcoming season will be renamed the Trenton Pork Roll. And they will have different merchandise for them for that night. And I can't wait to get a jersey that says pork roll. To me, though, is that it's Trenton. You would think they would just go to Taylor Ham, which is the company that made pork roll famous, and they were in that area. So you'd think that's how they would have went, but I guess they couldn't get that worked out with the company. So yes, the Trenton Thunder for every Friday night home game in the summer, they will be the pork roll. And that's my hot pick because you go to the website, TrentonThunder.com, and you can look at the really cool merchandise already. I am waiting for the jerseys to become available, and I will purchase one for myself.
I have to look this up. This sounds pretty amazing.
Well, last summer, there were two single A teams in Georgia that changed the name. One was the Macon Bacon and the Savannah Bananas. And it was like, I think I want these shirts because it would be a Savannah Banana. I want to be a Macon Bacon.
Did you buy one?
No, I didn't. I think I will this year. I think that's going to be the thing for this year. I will have baseball T-shirts instead of beer T-shirts.
We're making bacon by the beach.
Steak-em, baby. Steak-em T-shirt. Steak-em sponsoring the shirt this week.
Oh, very nice. We were making bacon on the beach.
Yes.
Bacon. Yes. It's first 10, 12 seasons of Simpsons, still classically quotable.
Yes.
So my hot pick is a variation on a previous hot pick.
Yes. Okay.
Again, God, it's like 12 years ago now. Neil Gaiman wrote American Gods.
Yes.
The TV show came out last year. That was one of my hot picks last year. And now I finally got around to reading the American Gods comic book that came out. Oh. Of course, I almost prepared for this, where it's on the iPad. And there it is. And bring it to the cover. So you can see this beautiful David Mack cover.
Ooh, that's nice.
I love his art.
If you're listening to the audio on this, you could just Google search American Gods cover.
Yeah, David Mack, American Gods, because he did variant covers for every issue. This is a Pete Craig Russell.
Well, let me see that one.
That one's Pete Craig Russell. But There's also a David Mack, which is the same one.
Mm-hmm.
They used the cover for the trade.
Yep. Watch, go back to the other one for a second.
So, yeah. The buffalo with the hammer, with the axe. So, yeah.
He's got a tattoo on his stomach that's pretty cool, too.
Yes. Well, he's a Native American god. Just see quick here. So.
Sorry.
So, it's obviously story and words by Neil Gaiman, the man. Script and layouts by Pete Craig Russell. Art by Scott Hampton. Letters by Rick Parker. And then, the title was Glenn Fabry. Not Pete Craig Russell. I confused my artists.
Okay.
I apologize. Both fantastic artists. And the David Mack I did get right. So you have Glenn Fabry covers. You have the David Mack covers. And it's a story of Shadow and how he, his life falls apart and he falls in with the American Gods. I'm probably showing more art than I should, but it's all good. It's the first few pages of the first issue. I read the trade paperback there, which is the first 9 issues, and it pretty much covers the first half of the book.
Okay.
Still love the book, even 12 years later. And just anything Neil Gaiman really comes highly recommended from me. It's
yeah.
That's it for this week.
All right. Next week we'll back to regular stuff on Geekodrome.
Yeah, we had 2 weeks. We had Raw, and then we had Royal Rumble, and it's literally the first pay-per-view I watched in 12 years.
Okay.
So, and we had to talk about it because it's momentous. I signed up for the WWE Network to watch this and watch my first wrestling pay-per-view since it might even be a little more than 12.
Oh.
Yeah. So, because I kind of stopped towards the end of the Attitude Era and caught little bits here and there since then, but it was all like Raw when I was bored. And now. So, yeah. And plus, Black Panther does come out on the 16th.
Yes.
So that's talk is coming as well. Sneak preview. And yes, the premiere for Black Panther is tonight. Strangely, they must have lost our invites, really.
I'm kind of insulted we didn't get invited to this Black Panther party.
I know that Black Panther premiere and that Black Panther after party as well.
I was all ready to go to a Black Panther party tonight.
I know you had your clothes all picked out and everything.
I had some nice gloves I was going to wear. Maybe a hat. Maybe a leather jacket.
The Stugots is a fancy man.
I'm fancy. I wear gloves and leather jackets to my Black Panther parties.
Well, if people want to know more about that or just more Geekodrome, they can check it out at geekodrome.co. They can subscribe to us on iTunes and hear this come all magically appear on your phone, on your computer, on your thingies, any place you magically. It's just there when you wake up. Bam! Here's a podcast. If you're not an Apple person, that's okay. We're also on the Google Play, or wherever else you find the podcasts. On the Twitters, though, we're at Geekodrome Pod.
Yeah.
On Facebook, at Geekodrome Podcast. So it's easy to find us and find your high-quality entertainment. You want to talk to me, I'm John. I'm at Just John. You want to talk to him, he's at Don Stugots.
That's me.
Plus, if you really like food, he hosts the Eat Up Show.
Oh, my goodness. Tonight, for the big game, I made big bagel pizzas.
Big bagel pizzas? Oh, my Lord.
Big bagels.
How big were them bagels?
Big, or like a car tire.
Wow.
I show you how to make them. I show you how to eat them. It's glorious. Trust me. Check it out. Eat Up Show on Facebook.
Now, I watched part of tonight's while setting up tonight's Geekodrome. They look fantastic. I need some of this in my belly.
Yeah. Oh, man. If you lived here or closer, you'd be enjoying them. I got to bring some. We have so many. I got to bring some to people at work tonight as soon as they get off the air.
Oh, very lucky peoples. Mal wants us to remind you that we record Monday nights, 10 p.m.
Yes.
And if you want to know when we're going on live, just hit that notification bell on the YouTubes, and you'll get us like magically live, and you can join us in the chat room. And
I'm glad she reminded us to tell
I know.
people.
That's why, we had Spanky Frank giving us some feedback. We have Paper Doll Gun Mal giving us some feedback tonight.
Oh, and John, so just a sidebar. Right after the show, I have to talk to you about something that Mal and I want to fill you in on.
Uh-oh. I'm being pushed out of my own show in favor of Mal.
No,
okay. I don't feel so bad then. And Spanky says you need a nap, Stugots, after the show.
For 4 hours today and been on the go since, and I think I hurt my back last week.
Stugots is getting old. But you know what else?
No, patients are getting heavier and heavier, and when you have to move them off of some small bed onto a larger bed, and they push against you while you're pulling them, and you hurt yourself.
Oh. Well, don't hurt yourself doing this.
No.
Are you ready? Limber up.
I need a spotter.
All right, get the shoulder loose. Fingers stretch.
Oh.
All right, you ready?
Oh.
All right, here's the countdown. 3.
Yes.
2. 1, 2,
Too sweet.